Joy Lab. Chicken tenders, chicken pieces, chicken wings, chicken strips. All of these are very popular from restaurants. Of course, you can make them at home, and I'm sure you have before. Today, I'm going to show you why you should use the freezer meal method to make your chicken strips at home. Hi, I'm Tonya. Thank you so much for being here today in my kitchen. I've got a big old fat, there was a sale, big old fat chicken breast there. And I bought a lot of them. I could just put them in my freezer and then bring them out one at a time or two at a time to prep my chicken strips, my chicken tenders, but that's a lot of daily work. And the goal of freezer meals is to make dinner time stress-free and mess-free. So we're going to do the slimy chicken mess today. Put our chicken strips in the freezer, and then when it's dinner time, we can pull them out of the freezer and cook them from frozen and never have to touch this slimy chicken mess again. I have 3 different recipes I'm going to show you. I'll probably break them up into 3 different videos so you can get to the recipe that you want quickly. Here's our big old fat chicken breast, and you can see the grain. You can see where the striations of the muscle fibers are. You don't cut on the grain because that gives you long muscle fiber strips and the chicken is more tough that way. Instead, we're going to cut against the grain so it's fork tender. You break off the pieces easily because the muscle fibers aren't fighting you. I'm going to slice this up and I'll be right back. I'm Tonya, back with the first of our 3 recipes for chicken strips or chicken tenders. This is the quickest and easiest one to prep first because it is a marinade. You're just going to put all the ingredients into a Ziploc baggie that you've already labeled with the instructions, and then add your chicken. Put it right in the freezer. It will marinate as it's thawing once you are ready to serve this. This recipe is called peanutty drumsticks. Yeah, peanutty drumsticks. I'm using chicken breast. You can use chicken thighs, any kind of chicken that you want. And that's what is wonderful about chicken. The recipes are pretty much interchangeable with whatever kind of chicken you're using. So I'll start with peanut butter for the peanutty chicken. Some people say to put some oil in the measuring cup when you are measuring peanut butter because then it will just slide right out. And that's true. I didn't do that. Do you know why? Why is honey always in bear-shaped containers? How did that start? Same thing with honey. People say, oh, oil the measuring cup first and then the honey will come right out so easily. That's true. But I didn't do it here either. It's tough to remember everything when you're on camera. Is it a bear because bears like honey? Seems like a silly reason for the honey containers to be shaped like bears. I mean, all of them, not just a certain brand. This is a no-name brand, a store brand. This is coming out way too slow. Now what's going to happen? It's going to come out way too fast. Let's just see. That's better. If you take your baggie and you turn back the edges, it stands up by itself and makes it easy to add your marinade ingredients. Where can you find this recipe? The link below. Oh, you should probably hit subscribe or like when you're on your way to get the recipe. Help a girl out. This is curry powder. Oh, doesn't smell very good on its own. That was not a very good endorsement. Sorry. Ugh. But it works in recipes. Now, I know many of you would never dream of using diced garlic in a jar, okay? I'm in a hurry. The whole point of freezer meals is to be quick and get it done so you can go on with your life. Enjoy your time with your family. The recipe calls for 1 clove, a half teaspoon of diced garlic. Try to get not the juices. Is about the same as 1 clove. I know some of you are all, Tonya, it doesn't take very long to dice a garlic clove yourself. I've seen those. Martha Stewart is brilliant at it. I'm not there yet, so I don't even try. I go for quick and easy. Notice that this is blue in color. Even if I had forgotten to look at the label of the Ziploc bag package, I would know that blue means freezer. Makes a difference. Make sure you get freezer bags only. All right, I'm just gonna mush this together. It's gonna be fun. Fun, but not very appealing. But that's okay. It will taste delicious. All right, fold back the top, let it stand on its own. Whoa. And now I'll add my chicken breasts. Remember, this recipe is for drumsticks originally. I'm doing chicken breasts because we're making chicken tenders, chicken strips in this video series. That's a big piece. I still am. I'm gonna cut this guy in half because he is awfully fat. I'm gonna wash my hands before I touch the baggie again because I have slimy chicken hands. Ugh. Air is what causes freezer burn, so I want to squeeze out as much air as possible from this Ziploc baggie. It's pretty good. To make it easier for things to fit in the freezer, I want to freeze this flat. That's why I brought out my cookie sheet that I know will fit in the freezer. All right, I'm gonna set this in the freezer. Of the 3 chicken tender recipes we're doing today, this is the easiest one to cook afterwards. You've frozen this. If you want to serve it for dinner tomorrow night, all you do is take this frozen baggie of chicken out and put it in the fridge overnight. Then at dinner time, pour this whole slimy mess into a greased pan, and you have a delicious peanutty chicken strips dinner. No slimy mess at dinner time, no mess to clean up on the counters. I'm Tonya. Thanks for watching. And don't forget our other 2 versions of chicken strips, chicken tenders that you can find next. I'm gonna pop this in the freezer right now. See you next time.
Joy Lab. Learning done right. Learn more with Joy Lab. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Visit us at www.joylab.biz. Thank you.
chicken strips are so popular at restaurants and fast food that I'm sure your kids just clamor for them. Even adults like them with the different dipping sauces. Most of the time, chicken strips, chicken tenders are breaded and fried. This is probably going to be the healthiest of the 3 versions of chicken tenders that I am showing you. We aren't frying them and we aren't dipping them into some sort of binder like buttermilk or sour cream. We're just making the coating, shaking the chicken strips in it, and then laying them out to freeze just like that, and they'll still come out crisp and tender and delicious. I'm going to use a Ziploc bag to make it's like shake and bake. Do you remember shake and bake from way back in like the 70s? You would buy like a cake mix, only it's shake and bake. Put it in a bag. I don't know if the bag was in the box or you had to have your own baggie. And it was like the powder that you shake the chicken in, and then you shake your raw chicken and fry it. We're kind of doing that, our own version. This recipe is officially called Cajun chicken strips. You don't have to use chicken strips. You can use chicken wings, chicken thighs, anything. I am using our blue freezer baggie, even though this recipe is not going to be frozen in the baggie. I only buy freezer baggies, not just the regular baggies. They may be tiny bit more expensive, but the pink ones that are refrigerator only, they will ruin your food when you put it in the freezer. They are not as thick and will not keep the air from touching your food, which causes freezer burn. And why are you going to all this trouble just to have your freezer meals burn? So just in case I get confused, I never ever buy the pink, the regular baggies. I only buy the blue freezer baggies. I'm wearing pink. Blue is my favorite color. Actually, I like a lot of colors. This has both paprika and cayenne pepper. I'm kind of, look at how red and delicious that looks just spicy to me. I'm going to do the recipe as it says because my husband likes spicy. And I can always dip my chicken tenders in some ranch dressing or some blue cheese to cool it down. Ooh, that's a lot. Yikes. Well, these are Cajun chicken strips. We have to honor the spice level. That is Cajun cooking. That doesn't look like very much. How is that supposed to cover all of my chicken? Well, that's what the recipe says. And in my notes, all I put was good, so it must work. The last time I made it, it must have been enough of the powdery covering. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands before I seal up this Ziploc bag. You have kids? Have them do this. Well, I guess that did cover it pretty well. It did cover the chicken pretty well. If we were baking this just from making it, you can follow the recipe. Where do you find the recipe? Below, you can have to click the link. Oh, and while you're below clicking the link, click. Now, if this was just normal and you weren't doing freezer meals, you would cook this right now. Where do you find the recipe? In the link below. And while you're going to the link below, click subscribe, click like, help a girl out. That makes my videos pop up a little more in YouTube algorithm so that more people can find out about how to make your life easier with freezer meals. Thank you for that. But we're doing freezer meals. Instead, take a pan that's going to fit in your freezer and put a Teflon sheet on it. And I'm going to freeze these Cajun chicken strips separated. Ooh, little pieces. Ugh. Am I going to have enough room? I will have enough room. I will make sure I have enough room. Where are you going to fit? Ooh, I don't want to touch. Okay. Squeeze you down. Slide you over. There we go. That's well seasoned, all of it. I'm going to put this in the freezer. Now, once they're frozen, then I'm going to get my Ziploc bag. I'm going to put this in the freezer just like this. Once it's frozen, then I will get my Ziploc baggie, label it with Cajun chicken strips, and how to serve it. I don't want to thaw these out again. I don't want to touch slimy chicken anymore. Instead, when it's time for dinner, I'm just going to cook these from frozen. You want to have a nice crisp outside, so spray them with some cooking spray. And it's how much? 350 degrees, because that's what you always cook on, 350 degrees for about 40 minutes from frozen. Then you never have to touch slimy chicken again. I'm Tonya. Thank you for watching.